if you guys really want to do well, you all should just have one lead singer. Ben should be the lead singer, and yeah, maybe Jon, you should leave the band.
God. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Tell Me Your Story. Today I'll be calling a friend of mine. His name is also Jon Chua, and he's from the Sam Willows. He's the more famous Jon Chua. And I've always been interested in wanting to know how did he come to be, how did the Sam Willows come to be, and as a musician in Singapore that made it this far, what were some of the struggles lah? And so I'll be calling him right now. What's up, Jon? Thanks for calling in.
Hey, what's up, Jon?
So
Nice to meet you, Jon.
this guy has been screwing my SEO for a few years now. When I used to Google myself, right, even though our Jonathan got different spelling, right, I would find him, which kind of annoyed me for a while. So how did it begin?
I actually was around 12 years old, and then I think because I have an older brother of 5 years older than me, so he started like playing guitar with my dad. And then at that point of time, like I was a bit jealous. And then I remember my brother saying to me, like, oh, you confirm no musical talent, you can't do this. So I was like, wow, okay lah. So I took the guitar and then I just practiced harder than him. And then now 18 years later, I'm still playing.
So your live music debut was with the Willows?
No, actually. So I actually started doing like school talent shows, but I wasn't very good lah. So I actually never won any of the talent shows.
Right.
Yeah, at that point of time, like I guess it was a case where I needed money. So what I'll do is that I would go to Kino bookstore in Taka. Then I would look at the guitar tabs. I'll learn the guitar tabs, and then I would go and try to teach guitar. So I would try to like teach like 13, 14-year-old expat kids. But actually I didn't really know how to play. So they tell me they want to learn.
Bro. Why our story same? Our name also same.
But I guess like when you're put in that situation, like you just try to figure things out.
What was like a low for you in like the rise of Sam Willows?
Like emotionally and mentally, it was very, very draining. Firstly, because I guess for me, especially being the only other guy in the band, like I was constantly being compared to Ben. Right? At that point in time, social media just started and people weren't very nice. Ben was the one that actually gave me encouragement. Like he would stand up for me. Like usually Ben's the kind that he won't really reply to mean comments about him. But then if someone says something mean about me, he would reply.
What was one comment that affected you the hardest, you think?
I think it was when we went for a music conference and then there was these like industry professionals there. And then one of them actually told all of us and me to my face that, oh, if you guys really want to do well, you all should just have one lead singer. Ben should be the lead singer. And yeah, maybe Jon, you should leave the band. So that was actually very, very, very hurtful. And, at that point of time, like, I guess I tried to not really think about it. But even till today, that memory is still very fresh because, it does hurt because I put in just as much work as everybody else. Sometimes it's very hurtful. So with clients, they would say like, hey, like we want the Sam Willows, but we only want the two girls and Ben. Can we get a discount, a 25% discount just to remove Jon from the equation? So, it's the kind of thing where at least I know deep down inside, like the band, we're tight. So they'll be like, oh, if Jon's not involved, we don't want to do it. They kept me grounded and they really, they really considered my feelings. But at the same time, like, I would tell them like, but guys, this is
money is money lah.
This is money as well. Like if they want you guys, please go for it. Don't do it on the account of my feelings.
When you guys first started touring like out of Singapore, did people know what was that touring experience like?
Wow, it was crazy. I think the most memorable overseas experience I've had was in the Philippines. So we actually opened for Little Mix in Manila, and we didn't expect people to know who we were because we were just the opening act. But then the thing is that when we actually got on stage, everyone was standing up and they were singing the lyrics to our songs.
Wow.
And then they were like dancing, and then we were like, wow, like this was such an amazing feeling. Like we're just an opening act from Singapore. Like we didn't expect anyone to know us.
How about you went to the stage, right? How was that?
Oh, the States was different, man. So I think the first time we went to the US was in 2013. We applied for a festival and we got there. So
but that was not your first gig, right, as the Willows, like overseas?
That was actually our first gig.
Your first gig as Willows overseas was in US,
Yeah,
but
so
you're very
we went
ambitious,
to play at this festival.
Never go Malaysia festival.
No, yeah, dude, we went straight to the US. Like that was crazy. At that point of time, like we had a showcase. So it wasn't going to be a big showcase. So what we did was like we were standing outside the venue and we were giving out like our flyers, and then you can see like people take the flyers and then they throw it into the dustbin a few moments later. And then when we actually got to the show, there was a band right before us. It was, I think they're a US band, and we all had like half an hour slots, but then they ate into our time and they were very rude to us lah. They weren't very nice people. It made us feel like, oh, maybe we don't deserve to be here. Like we're not ready to be here. And at that point of time, it kind of fueled us to work even harder, to say like, okay, one day if we ever do come back to this venue again, it's going to be a different reaction.
You wrote a song, right? You released a song recently.
Turning up your shoulder, made an ice, call you up, I might do that. I'm afraid I'll have to pay the price, girl.
Yeah, so Give It Back is the kind of thing where, like, I think especially right now, everybody is, kind of in a very awkward position, like, oh, I have to stay home, circuit breaker and all. I think I wanted to release a song to allow people to say, like, look back on your old photos, look back on your old videos and reminisce the past a little bit, and see like, yeah, like life is always a progression, you're always moving forward, but it's nothing wrong to actually take a while to just look back and see what life used to be like, and treasure those moments and remember that these experiences actually shape the person that you are. So yeah, I think that was the whole purpose of the song.
What will you tell your younger self or the younger Sam Willows, man? Like, what have you taken away after all these years?
Just, treasure all these experiences, like it's definitely more fun when it's simpler. And at the same time, like, yeah, just don't worry too much about money, in that sense, worry about getting an audience, worry about, having the right message, doing music for the right purposes. The dream is usually an occupation. People say, oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a musician, an actor, but once you actually get that occupation, that's where the hard work actually starts. Surround yourself with people who believe in you. So yeah.
Right, man, that's beautiful. Thanks for sharing.
It's really weird because I see your name and it says Jonathan Chua.
It's Jon Chua, Jonathan Chua, Jon Chua. Once again, I'd like to thank Jon for telling Jon his story. If you guys have an interesting story to share and something you've learned that you think the rest of us should know as well, then please go to the comment section, click that link, and then fill up your story, and then hopefully we'll talk soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Salah one take macam.